All right. So, all right, we're going to do mic checks here. Welcome back, sports fan, to WTOP 10 Sports. My name is Rob Finger, alongside Cole Fleming. We're here at the Laker Turf for today's matchup between your Oswego State Lakers and the Cortland Red Dragons. Boy, oh boy, this is gonna be a good game, isn't it, Cole?
It sure is. Cortland, ranked 25th in the nation, is a very I don't even know.
All right, yeah, especially just because this has been quite a touted matchup as well. Just because you've got two teams that only have very few wins this season so far. The Lakers come in with a record of 6-1-3, and the Cortland Red Dragons coming up with a record of 7-3-3. So well above 500 on both sides of the field here. And this has been a matchup as well that has had quite the history as well.
Yes, it's been very lopsided in the past, with Cortland actually being 55-6-5 versus the Oswego Lakers all time.
Yeah, that's something that we were talking about it earlier. It stretches back all the way to 1939, doesn't
Yes.
it? Like all the way back to like late 30s. You've got this rivalry that has been going in favor of the Cortland Red Dragons anyway. So what are we essentially going to be looking out for here in terms of the strengths on either side of this field here?
Say that again? I didn't quite pick it up.
What are we going to be looking out for in terms of, the strengths of both of these teams in terms of putting on offense? Where do their strengths lie for something like this?
So, Cortland is very, very heavy in the middle. They love the middle of the field. They have their center forward, number 10, Mateo Mara, who's got 9 goals and 3 assists on the year, and their center midfielder, Matt Schultz, with 8 and 2. They like to use the middle of the field, and they like to dominate the field of play. Oswego, on the other hand, they love the width. They have a very attacking 4-3-3 where they like to bring people in on the wings. It is very important for them to utilize this outside during this game.
And like you said, that top three as well, we were talking about it earlier, the top three of this SUNY Cortland team, you've got people like Mateo Mara, you've got Matt Schultz, Yasin Shukri, all of them with heavy, it's very lopsided in terms of points for this team.
Actually, 80% of their goals are scored by those three. They have 25 goals on the year. 17 of them are by their top two, with 3 from Yasin Shukru.
Oh, absolutely. So we've got Yasin Shukri, 3 goals, Mateo Mara, 9 goals, Matt Schultz, 8 goals, and then there's like a spattering of like here and there. Moise Bayou has only 1, Jake Chung has 1, Jack Pinata, you've got Jack Sargent as well, Scott Schuyler. All of these people just with 1 goal, and then you've got those top 3 who have been absolutely dominating it in terms of points.
Yes, we can tell. And Cortland has only had 3 players be a key starter in every game. Everyone else seems to kind of be undetermined. It's very sporadic. We don't know what we're going to get out of them.
Oh, yeah. And we were mentioning as well, because on the side of Oswego, we said, it was about 7 people who have been regular starters or have started every single game for the Lakers?
I believe that is correct. Actually, 2 have missed one, so 2 have missed a game entirely due to probably injury. So it actually almost bumps up to 9 starters that are typically their main people.
Oh, absolutely, because we've got Kyle Genrich, we've got Jason Wytak, Benjamin Brooks, Kyle Hanner, Hajun Lee, Scout McCumsky, Ethan Caruana, Ryan Bullis, and Kieran Husselback. All 7 of those guys are their routine starters, or I should say no, more like 8 or 9 of them have started all of these games, and we're seeing a very strong Oswego Lakers team as well recently, because we were talking about it before the show. We had a long conversation about the winning percentage of this Lakers team, and they've got their first winning record really in quite a while anyway.
2019. The Oswego Lakers are looking to have only their second 7-win season in the past 10 years, believe it or not. It was 2019. They were 9-7-2 that year.
Oh, yeah. But they've been especially super strong so far this year. They've got wins against Nazareth, Hamilton, Elmira, RPI, Delhi, and then their most recent win against SUNY Canton just this past week, essentially 1 week ago today. And then on Saturday, unfortunately, they did draw against the Mustangs of Morrisville.
That was a tough draw for the Lakers. It's a conference match, a game in which they dominated. They outshot their opponents by a pretty substantial margin. And they just couldn't. They got scored on first late, and they luckily were able to salvage a draw on that one. But probably wanted a better result out of a game like that.
Although you do have to essentially look up. You can't have your head held low for this Oswego Lakers team. They've only got one outright loss this entire year, that one being to SUNY Oneonta, the other Red Dragons, who themselves
are ranked. After taking down, actually, Cortland this most recent week, 4-0. They have found themselves ranked 21st in the nation with a record of 7-1-3.
Yeah, and we were talking about it. The Cortland Red Dragons are on the brink of almost losing their ranking as well, because they're ranked, right at 25, right?
25th. At one point this season, I think it was after the second week of play, they were ranked second in the nation. And since then, they have appeared to struggle, really, including 2 losses out of their 3 most recent games.
Although, if you can count a 7-3-3 record as losing,
Yes. And the other team they lost to was this most recent Sunday, where they lost 1-0 to Williams College, a team who has also been very good. While they are unranked, they are 3-1 versus teams that are ranked.
Yeah,
so it's a very strong side that they did end up losing to.
But you do have to mention in between those 2 draws, or 2 losses anyway, where they weren't able to score at all, they essentially expended all of their scoring power against Plattsburgh when they hosted them down in Cortland, down in the Crown City. 4-0, the score of that one. So
yes. That one, a very impressive victory. Matt Schultz, one of their main scorers, tagged 2. And believe it or not, the other scorer was Yassine Shukru, who had tagged a goal and 2 assists himself.
Oh, absolutely. So definitely the 3 names to watch out for on this very powerful SUNY Cortland team: Mateo Mara, Matt Schultz, and Yassine Shukri. But as well for this Oswego State team, you've got Kyle Genrich with 10 points. You've got Chris Smith with 8. Tajay Ellis with 7. Ian Husselbeck with 7 as well in terms of points. You've got a lot of big point scorers. It's not quite as lopsided as this SUNY Cortland team. So we'll see if that depth does play a little bit of a factor
11
here.
different goal scorers on this Oswego side.
Oh, absolutely. So we'll have a lot of scoring prowess, a lot of scoring skill on the side of this Lakers team, and what's looking to be a very even matchup, at least on paper so far. But obviously, there's a little bit of a difference, right?
Yes, especially with the weather conditions. It is a very unpredictable game. It's been raining and windy. Of course, we had the weather delay due to the thunderstorm. It's been not pleasant out, and while I think it's going to get better, it's still, the turf's going to be wet, and actually, Cortland plays on natural grass, so the wet turf could really cause some problems for them if they don't get adjusted properly.
Oh yeah, so there are those little edges that we can say that the Oswego State has over SUNY Cortland anyway, to where maybe they could pull out their first victory in what? We said it was 2006?
2006. October 18th, 2006. They tagged a 2-1 victory over Cortland. It has been a long time. Almost 18 years, actually, since they most recently defeated Cortland.
Well, we'll see if it sticks to be that sort of close game. It's going to need to be a little bit of that sort of close game for the Lakers to be able to take victory here. Hopefully, they can keep Cortland at bay. But we will be silent here for the playing of our national anthem. And with that rousing rendition of the Star Spangled Banner, we will get things started here from the Laker turf field here on the shores of Lake Ontario. And boy, oh boy, the wind from Lake Ontario, we were mentioning the weather conditions. This game was delayed quite a bit because it was torrentially downpouring earlier.
Yes, it was very, very not pleasant out, to say the least. It appears we have seen some sun lately, and it maybe will help dry things up just a tad bit. But overall, the wind is not going to go away, and that'll play a big factor because it is going from left to right.
Oh, yeah. So the Lakers seemingly looking to start on the left side of your screen here, so we'll see what happens because they're going to be going to the right for this first half, first 45 minutes anyway. So we'll see if they're able to score, but we were analyzing the stats earlier, and we noticed a bit of a trend for the Lakers anyway in terms of when they're able to score, when they've scored the most. 8 goals scored by them in the first half of their game so far this season, and 12 in the second half. So maybe they want to be a little bit more of a change to something like that. What do you think?
I agree. We're going to see this from the wind blowing to the right and Oswego attacking in that direction. It'll be important for them to tag a few here where they have been very good when they take the lead early, 5-1-1 on the season when they take that initial goal, while Cortland is only 1-3-1 while allowing that goal first.
Well, we'll hope that the Lakers are able to mark that first goal on the board because I believe it was about 5-1, we said, in terms of Cortland scoring first whenever they're able to score first.
When Cortland scores first, out of 8 of their 13 games, they are 6-0-2. They have not recorded a defeat when they have scored first. Though the Oswego Lakers also have not, when allowing the first goal, seen defeats on themselves.
Absolutely. As we get set for this opening kickoff right here from the shores of Lake Ontario, and it looks like it'll be Jay Ellis who will do the honors for your Oswego State Lakers as we get things started here momentarily.
Looks very
the Red
much...
Dragons in their red, the Lakers in their white and yellow kit. And we will get things started here momentarily. And we are underway here from the Laker turf field as the Lakers getting it quickly back into their own end, just looking to get some space and get the Red Dragons moving so far. But once again, like we said, immediately going to those wings, going to that strength of theirs as they get it across their D line anyway. And now more over towards the far side of the field here.
It's funny, you can tell though, Cortland obviously noticed they typically play a very traditional 4-3-3, and it looks like they have a 4-4-2 with a box midfield. So it seems like their coach is making some tactical changes based on some of their vulnerabilities in the past few games.
Lakers possessing it back with their D, but the Red Dragons putting on all the pressure that they can to get it to Stylen Acosta. Unfortunately, hitting the deck a little bit there, but
that's not something you see too often from these Oswego Lakers. They only have 78 fouls the entire season, which is very small compared to the Cortland 130.
As we get things started again with Jack Pinata getting it over to the far side anyway. And the Red Dragons just looking to get it into that box, but the Lakers able to get possession back, and once again using those wings to their advantage, passing their own bench, but unfortunately goes off the sideline. He'll be throwing for the Red Dragons.
See how Oswego wants to start this game off. They typically it seems like they like to start the game and build up as the game goes on. They have a tendency to have a very low overall shots for them and against them over the course of the first half, but you see those numbers rise significantly in the second half. So we'll see if they try to keep playing that style and keep a reserved first few minutes so far in this half.
Cortland throwing it in once again. A couple of headers, though, from the defenders. Lakers just trying to possess it as they get it across that center line. But still, sticking to the midfield so far early in this game here. But unfortunately having to get it all the way back to their keeper, Kyle Rose, getting some time with the ball early in this match here. It'll stay in just in the Lakers' half of the field here as it goes off of this near sideline. And it'll be Jack Granada again throwing it in for the Red Dragons. He gets it over to Cade Denlinger.
We've talked about this Oswego team is very okay with having the ball. They've played it back a long ways a few times. They look like they just want to keep some possession in this game to get a good start to get a good start and feeling to this first half.
Red Dragons, though, getting dangerously close to the goal of Kyle Rose. It'll go all the way to that far corner. It'll go off the sideline. It's a lot of throw-in, I believe. That's courtesy of Benjamin Brooks. Looking over his options from that far sideline. He'll throw it in long up the sideline. And the Lakers will get it off of a header from one of the Red Dragons. And here they come with speed. But of course, that wet turf playing a little bit of a factor as they get it to TJ Tanner and coming over here to Jay Ellis, getting his boots on the ball. And the Lakers will play it up this right wing here. It'll go all the way back for Jack Pinada, the defender from Plainview here in the state of New York. And that's one thing that we didn't mention during our open here as well, Cole. Just how different these rosters are. We've got a lot of members of the state of New York, but a very diverse roster on the side of the Cortland Red Dragons as well.
Yes. There are only 2 people on this Oswego entire roster who are not from the state of New York. You have one from Connecticut, and you have one single player international from Syria.
Yeah, and then we go on to the other side for the Cortland Red Dragons roster. You got people from like Connecticut, but also Santiago, Chile. You've got players from Lagos. We've got Rome as well, Belgrade in Serbia. So a lot of international players for this Cortland Red Dragons team. And the Red Dragons, of course, one of the most legendary D3 schools in the state of New York. And how many SUNY championships is it for them?
18 SUNY championships
18
for the Cortland Red
championships.
Dragons.
To the mere one of the Oswego State Lakers,
Yes.
unfortunately.
The Oswego Lakers have won one championship, and it was in 1966. So it has been a long time since they have found themselves with a conference championship.
Lakers throwing it in once again with a couple of headers, series of headers here from the Red Dragons, looking to get it out of their end quickly, but the Lakers D-men able to keep it in the Red Dragons' half of things so far.
Look how high they are. Their defenders are not afraid to step up into the action.
Oh, absolutely. Not looking to retreat at all as it goes to Kyle Hanner, though, although he'll retreat a little bit, looking for a little bit extra room, is putting on some pressure there is Kyle Milburn of the Red Dragons. Unfortunately, having to force the Lakers into going a lot further back into their own end.
I'm sure they're going to be happy with that, though, getting it out, because there was some sketchy moments there that could have turned very bad very quickly.
Lakers possessing it over on the far wing, that far left wing going towards the Red Dragons' goal anyway, but still, back at their D line, it's a little bit dangerous, especially with those few Red Dragons encroaching and getting in on them as it goes over the sideline. That'll be a throw-in for the Lakers as it goes off of the boots of, I believe that's number 19, Muiz Bayou. Of course, able to throw it in and getting it long, deep into that Red Dragons end. They'll get it out of bounds, a little bit strategic. They're setting it out of bounds so that they can get their troops regrouped here.
Yes. We can see from the wind there, even on that throw, it seems to have just a mild effect, keeping that ball rolling down the field.
Yeah, as they get it right into that near box there, it'll go wide past the fencing there on the far side, out of play. We'll have another throw in for the Lakers, and hopefully they can make a little bit better use of this one than they did that previous one. They'll throw it in, sending it all the way towards the center, but the Red Dragons able to get it out with speed and with efficiency. But the Lakers keeping it in Cortland's end of things as it goes again over to Kyle Hanner on the near side. Once again, the Lakers playing there. A big collision between number 22, Stylen Acosta, and number 2, Kyle Gendrich. Where Acosta down, he was holding his leg there for a minute, unfortunately. Just trying to, almost having to catch his breath there, it looks like.
Yeah, I wonder, because he did win the ball, but it seemed like he might have gotten an elbow to the face trying to get around the Oswego attacker.
Yeah, trying to get around Kyle Gendrich there, the captain. Thankfully, both of them able to get up and able to make it up with a couple words shared between them there, as we'll get a free kick, I believe, for the Oswego Lakers.
So yes, it will be a drop ball because there was no foul. It was just a stoppage for an injury.
Here come the Red Dragons, though, up that far wing side, using those wings a little bit more, as unfortunately not quite to their strengths, but still able to use them. The Lakers, though, getting it back towards the midfield a little bit this time as they try to get it over towards the far side. It'll be TJ Tanner on the near side as well.
You can tell Oswego's very comfortable with this ball to start. They seem to be in tight spaces, still able to possess and distribute the ball well.
Yeah.
That is something to keep watching and seeing if Cortland will be a little more aggressive on this defensive side to try to win the ball.
Here come the Lakers the other way. Kyle Gendrich sending it into that box. But boy, oh boy, it'll come back out. Red Dragons, like we said, able to get it out of there and with speed and with efficiency when they want to. But once again, like we said, that whole notion of the possession game. The Lakers they have the edge so far in that possession game. I'd say it's more like 60-40 in terms of the Lakers' ability to possess.
More. They've been very comfortable under the ball. Cortland has not established anything on the offensive end through these first 9 minutes of the game. Oswego seems to be very, very comfortable, and you can see them starting to hit more of these long balls and get more aggressive because I think you can see them settling in nicely into this game.
Yeah, there's a long ball there from Kyle Hanner. Unfortunately, it'll go out of bounds. We'll have a throw in courtesy of Jack Panada. But again,
see, there's another ball on the field, so let's remove it
we'll have to remove it before we get back underway here. 35-57 still left to go in this first half, so still early stages here. Only about 10 minutes in, just under 10 minutes so far into the full 90 minutes of this game here, as the Red Dragons taking it quickly again. But the
Lakers to
Lakers,
be a handball.
And we'll get a kick from Kieran Hasselbeck here for the Lakers, setting it up to Kyle Gendrich, and again to Jay Ellis. Ellis looking to make a couple moves around Panada there, but he'll have to be careful. Jay Ellis going along the far end line, it'll go out of bounds, and that will be on the Lakers. So we'll get a goal kick from the keeper, Jordan Ott, over there.
We've seen some heroics from Kieran Hasselbeck's, what I assume is his brother Ian Hasselbeck. These last few games, he had a goal and an assist in their 3-0 win over Canton, and he scored the game-tying goal in their most recent tie versus Morrisville, in which they saved a draw in that game.
So wonderful play from some of these Lakers here as we get a long goal kick there. It almost reaches the center line just in the air. But nonetheless, the event staff able to get it as it goes out of bounds on the near side here. Gets it up towards to Jay Ellis there, but instead it'll be Ian Hasselbeck, the brother there, able to get it all the way back, and it rolls all the way to Jordan Nah. He'll pick it up, and he will look to kick it himself. As we're just over 10 minutes in here now. Still no score from the Laker turf field. As he lets it go, looks over his options. What'll he do? Long kick all the way deeper into the Lakers' end. But still, the Lakers able to win that possession game, able to get possession of it. Oh, but the Red Dragons looking to be pretty aggressive there. Moise Bayou again getting it in, but it'll go all the way to Kyle Rose, and he will pick that up with ease.
Just a slightly errant pass from number 19, looking to get it in behind.
Yeah,
Seemed like if he had just been able to take just the slightest bit off it, it's a lot easier said than done. It would have been one-on-one with the keeper.
Well, you saw it there. Luis Bayou, number 19 for the Cortland Red Dragons, just being that sort of aggressive, being a lot more aggressive than his teammates so far in this game. Keep in mind, we're only about 10 minutes in, so maybe you'd like to not quite expend all that energy now. To get that first goal would mean a lot for these teams, but it's not exactly a foregone conclusion if they don't. To Jay Ellis, though, it'll go off the end line, off of the boots of Jack Pinata, so we'll get a corner kick. The first of the game so far for the Oswego State Lakers. We'll see what they can do.
Kyle Genrich will be taking it.
Yeah, and we'll see what they can do, how they set it up right in front of that net of Jordan Ott, the keeper for the Red Dragons. Kyle Genrich, the graduate student from Comac, sending it in. It'll be headed away.
It's well defended and a great header to get that out of that
Alex
defensive
Lessman,
zone.
the one responsible, but Genrich able to get it back, gets it right in towards the J. Ellis. It doesn't quite go, but nonetheless, the Lakers will keep going here. They'll keep it in the Red Dragons' end, courtesy of the defensive line and courtesy of Kieran Husselbeck. They will possess it to J. Ellis right in that 30-yard box. They send it in, and a save made by Jordan Ott, having to go a little bit to his left. But nonetheless, he'll be able to keep it scoreless here.
Appears we have an injury. It appears to be that same player earlier that had that slide tackle.
Yeah, and we have Stylen Acosta again down on that field.
I wonder if it was a leg injury and not he was holding his head, but it appeared that when he got up he was limping just a little bit, and I wonder if that has just not gotten any better as this last 5-ish minutes have gone on.
Well, it's not like they don't have enough substitutions that they could sub him out for somebody else, but nonetheless, thankfully Stylen Acosta able to get up and get off the pitch under his own power here. 32:03 left to go in this first half, so still a full 30 minutes left. We're only about the first 15 minutes in, but still no score here from the Laker turf field.
I've been impressed with how the Oswego Lakers have handled these first 15 minutes. They've seemed very under control and seem to have surprised this Cortland team just a little bit in this early 15 minutes. And it just seems that Cortland's still trying to find their footing. I wonder if there is something that with that grass that has to do with it, or if it's just their... You mentioned hour and a half bus ride, hour delay. You've only had 30 minutes to warm up. I wonder if they're just starting the game slow just because of all of the conditions surrounding it.
You gotta wonder, especially... It might even just be a factor of the temperature as well, because this is one of the chilliest days that we've seen so far this season anyway. And you've got a lot of people over there on the Red Dragons bench and the Lakers bench, for what it's worth, having their hoods up, keeping their hands warm, everything
bouncing
like
around.
that. Just keeping it warm however they can. As Jordan Ott getting us started once again, he sends it over for Jack Pinata over on this near side, who hands it off to Kate Denlinger as well, the man from Elizabethtown and PA. We'll get a throw in from Scott Schuyler here. Well, he'll hand it off instead to Denlinger as well, who himself will hand it off to Jack Pinata. A little bit of confusion of who exactly is going to be throwing it in, but nonetheless they throw it in, and the Cortland Red Dragons using this left wing here, and again, that's number 19, Muiz Bayou. Again, being about as aggressive as he could possibly be here.
We've seen so far number 9 and number 10 from the Cortland, those really deadly Mateo Mara and Matt Schultz combination, have been held in check so far. Not really big opportunities. They haven't had the ball for long spells. I said so far, Oswego has handled those two quite nicely.
Big throw in here from the Red Dragons. Is thankfully the Lakers are able to get a long ball out, but a big kick there from Nolan Week. But again, it'll go far over the goal of Kyle Rose. And we will start it again with a goal kick for him. He will start things off relatively close to his net there. Maybe that's a little bit strategic. Get the Red Dragons to pinch in a little bit more.
Definitely, of course. The opponents can't step into the 18 until after the ball is played when you're the keeper. So you will feel a little bit of that comfortable. You have at least 10 yards of space between you and that defender to actually start distributing the ball more.
Here come the Red Dragons, though. Bayou with a big ball, but it doesn't quite get there.
That guy has been very dominant so far for the Cortland Red Dragons. He seems to be everywhere on that field and just barely missing that shot right over the top of the crossbar.
Kyle Rose, the freshman from Wading River, able to get things started once again. And they'll take it up this right wing here. This near side is number 2, Kyle Genrich, getting pushed over there by Sam Lamandola of the Red Dragons. And we'll have a kick for the Lakers as they get it started once again. They'll get it all the way back to Kyle Rose. A little bit long there. You don't want to get too close to that goal in terms of strategy anyway. But thankfully the Lakers able to get it to the near side here, and they'll try to get it out of their end. Lakers still win it there. This time Ethan Caruana. But again, they get it to Jay Ellis, but stealing away momentarily anyway was Jack Banana. To Jay Ellis, though.
Wins
not
it back.
one to be defeated.
He just waited a little too long on that initial one. He was a little too patient. I don't think he saw the defender coming, and you can tell by the way they've started. They've started with just possession, a nice slow start to the game. So you could tell he was a little surprised that the Cortland guy was stepped up so quickly.
The Lakers still with it on that far side. I think they just momentarily stepped it out of bounds on that far side. The Red Dragons will throw it in as they get it right in near and close. But you again. The Lakers, though, stopping them just before that 30-yard box. And here they come the other way, trying to get it up through the midfield here. Long ball for Jay Ellis. Oh, but Jordan not able to get it in his gloves.
Just barely missed that through ball. He was open. If he was able to get a touch on that ball, that is bad news bears for the Red Dragons.
So they get it long down the other way and off the end line of the other side of the field here. So Kyle Rose will get another goal kick. 27:55 still left to go. So still just under half an hour to go in this first half of things. Still early stages. Still no score as they get it over near the Lakers bench there. And once again, Ethan Caruana trying to work with it there, but unfortunately hitting the dirt. And that'll be a throw-in for the Red Dragons, and they do so quickly, handing it off to Bayou, who tried to get it over to the near side, but unfortunately playing it out of bounds. The Lakers will throw it in near that far side line. But to Jay Ellis, just trying to get his boots on it there. Nonetheless, Lakers will send it over to the near side. A big header there from TJ Tanner. Cortland will possess it back at their defensive line.
I think we're going to see that a ton between those forward and center back from a
Is coming back over to Kyle Rose. Just holding the ball, looking over what he's got in front of him. He'll kick it over to his left. And here they come the other way. Lakers just trying to get it up that far left wing. It'll go past their own bench and out of bounds.
It's played very well by that Cortland defense. It's defended very strong, very physical, very quick, without really allowing much room for the Oswego to work in that corner.
Lakers able to get their boots on it, a long ball all the way up towards TJ Ellis, but it'll go off the head of Jack Panada. And a series of headers and big kicks going back and forth the other way, almost like a tennis match. But nonetheless, it'll go out of bounds off that far side, right near the bench of the Lakers. They will throw it in.
You can see Alex Lessman, that number 16 center back for Cortland, just constantly following Tajay Ellis around. It's just everywhere. He's almost like a dog, just like following their owner.
Of course, you've got to think that TJ Ellis was one of those people that the Cortland Red Dragons coaches were looking at in their, film sessions and different things like that and training sessions. You got to wonder if or how much of their defensive strategy today has centered around a player like TJ Ellis and having to account for him staying up so high.
Yes, and you can see those two very big physical players. Like, neither of them are going to step down from that challenge.
25-11 now left. Sending it in are the Lakers. We'll have, I believe, a free kick for the Red Dragons. They'll look to get it started early with a little bit of a fake there, but nonetheless. And once again, TJ Ellis staying a lot higher. But the Red Dragons, here they come back in, but it'll get off the boots. I believe that was Benjamin Brooks on the far side for the Lakers. It'll go out of bounds, and we'll have another throw-in. Thankfully for him, his team is able to get set up after that out of bounds, but nonetheless, it'll go off the end line. We'll have another throw-in, or another goal kick, I should say.
We've almost seen the opposite from what we had originally thought. Oswego seems to be very comfortable in that midfield, while Cortland seems to really want to be forcing out wide. They seem to like their width attack today, and Oswego has not done too much on the widths.
Red Dragons just trying to head it in. They're able to keep it in this Lakers end for quite a bit now, I should say. Just able to keep it within that Lakers end. Thankfully, the Lakers able to get it out now, but still.
It's those same two physical bodies just wanting to win the battle between each other. This time, Cortland comes away with the foul.
Jack Banana, long ball all the way down towards that 30-yard box. And again, the Lakers able to steal it away, just trying to get it out of their own end here. That was Ian Hustlebeck right there. But nonetheless, here they come down the other way. The Red Dragons looking to steal it away towards the top of the box. And will it go off the end line? It will not.
It will.
Oh, for a minute there, I thought that he was just able to keep it in.
That one was really close. Great job by the Lions ref to get right on that goal line and be able to watch that very clearly.
Lakers will start it off once again. Kieran Hustleback giving it a long boot all the way towards that center line, but here come the Red Dragons putting a big kick on, but that'll go over and out.
That's number 9, Matt Schultz. That's one of their big threats. I would put money that they would love him taking that opportunity because he does score so many goals for them.
Just about halfway through this first half here, passing that 22-30 mark of the halfway point, as the Lakers, once again, deep with it in their own end. They've got to be careful, just because they don't want anything to happen. Thankfully, they're able to momentarily, anyway, get it out of their own half of the field, but able to play that midfield, try to get it to Ellis, still up there, number 52, but nonetheless, here comes Matt Schultz once again, deep in the Lakers' end. He's just able to keep it in. It'll go over to the far sideline. The Lakers able to keep it in, though. They'll try to take it up the wing. Over to Ethan Caruana now. Trying to get it to Ellis, but he's just not able to get there. And Ellis almost looks like he's trying to stay as close to that center line as he can, no matter how deep it goes into the Lakers' end.
He seemed frustrated with that pass. It seemed just he wants it at his feet, and it seems that it didn't quite reach the area he wanted it to go to.
Red Dragons, big kick into the box there. Series of headers, still there.
I really like the way Cortland has adjusted to this game. They realize Oswego is fine just sitting back and keeping the ball for this start, and as a result, Cortland has stepped so much higher. There's just an errant touch from that Oswego left back. He was wide open, had tons of space, and just couldn't bring it down.
Red Dragons will throw it in this time as we near the 20-minute mark left to go, at least in this first half. And here come the Lakers once again, looking to get a little bit of that offense on. To Jay Ellis trying to get his boots on it, but the Red Dragons absolutely moonshot it out of play.
He wanted no business with that one, just clearing that one as far as he could.
I mean, you got a sense at some point that, oh yeah, the tide's turning a little bit. Now the Lakers have the flow, and that'll be thrown in, but kept away and kept off the boots of the Red Dragons. It'll go off the end line. So Jordan Ott will get that goal kick as we approach exactly 20 minutes left. 20:05 now.
It was great work by Alex Lespin shielding that to make sure he didn't touch it, and the Tajay Ellis. It's a fun name.
Oh yeah. Trust me, I am the number one source on fun names because I have one myself. As the Red Dragons taking it over the near side here, able to keep it in. But a very pinballing ball here is, they just give it away.
See, Cortland stepping higher. It's starting to result in some of these errant passes just due to having bodies back there where Oswego's looking for passes.
The Red Dragons getting it back to their defensive line now, right near that center line. And now to Matias Valenzuela Matic. The man from Santiago down in Chile. Coming a long way to play some D3 soccer.
That is a long way to travel.
Especially to a place like Cortland as well. As here come the Lakers, able to get it long out of their own end. But the Red Dragons looking to send it back in. Getting that back up. Are the Lakers? But I believe...
You almost saw an elbow to the back of the head there.
I was about to say.
It was a little reckless by that Oswego attacker.
But nonetheless, of course, sometimes you do have to make those sacrifices in a game like this as well.
Absolutely. And that's just that happens with headers. He's probably trying to brace himself, and as a result, he gets that elbow a little further extended than you really should. You see the ref blow the whistle on the foul there.
Big kick there from Jack Pranata. But Ethan Caruana looking to get it back out, but I believe that went off the boot there of Jay Ellis, but just out of play. And the Red Dragons will get it back in, but the Lakers getting their boots on it once again. Here they come up that far side. They tried to get it, but Pranata able to intercept it. And the Red Dragons will start coming the other way once more. Just trying to pass that Lakers bench. But unfortunately a throw-in for, I believe, the Red Dragons. For a second, I thought that went off a Red Dragon boot out, but nonetheless, the Red Dragons with the upper hand with something like this. So they're able to get everybody settled in.
Yes, you can see now Oswego just applying a little bit more pressure. They're starting to get back into this groove that they lost when Cortland really started pressing high. It's definitely in favor of Cortland right now, though.
The Red Dragons still with it in the Oswego end of things as they get a little bit up higher. Just trying to inch it towards that box as best they can. The Lakers able to steal it away, sending it up this near side here. But Ellis staying a little bit higher up. Not quite going as deep as the keeper or anything like that. Pranata, big boot all the way down there.
You can see that Oswego defense not letting anything into their 18. They almost have 7 in the back at points. And you can see as that ball was cleared, they're trying to reorganize themselves because it gets to be such a mess in those tight areas that it just looked like they just had everyone back, all trying to keep it out of their 18.
A high ball here as the Lakers coming in with numbers. Just trying to get it set up here. A good ball there as they enter the box, but just a block there for the defenders. It'll go long over to the far side. The Red Dragons will keep it in. The Lakers looking to steal it away once more. A little bit of miscommunication there. They're able to come out with it, though. So the Lakers handing it over over towards this near side now. They got to get it back to the defenders. Just looking for a little bit more room as they get it back to the center circle.
You see now it's Cortland with almost looks like 5 in the back with that one CDM really, really far back. It's just, it's a great team from both sides. Both teams are doing really well transitioning, having all of their guys back defensively when they need it, but they also have not been afraid to come forward and have lots of numbers forward when they're in the attack.
Kieran Hasselbeck slowly taking it in, gets it a long ball up for Jay Ellis. Ellis over towards TJ Tanner. He's just able to keep it in on this near corner. Tanner getting it up. Kyle Genrich, the captain. Kyle Hanner now. Hanner in for Ian Hasselbeck. Genrich taking it.
A little bit of miscommunication there.
But here come the Red Dragons the other way. Matt Schultz getting a long ball there, but the Lakers able to get it back to Kyle Rose.
Very well defended by Oswego. There's no sense of panic, even though they only had three guys back defensively.
And it seems like they're not really afraid of somebody like Matt Schultz, who's been able to put up so many points this year.
Yeah, and so I talked about last year, like having that. Matt Schultz was the killer for them last year in their single matchup last year.
With 14-19 still left to go, the Red Dragons, Matt Schultz, here they come the other way. Just looking to get it in as far as they can. Matias Valenzuela Matic sending it all the way over to the far side. Running for that. Scott Schuyler. It'll go out of bounds. That'll be a throw-in for the Oswego Lakers, courtesy of Benjamin Brooks on the far side.
Yeah. That matchup last year was 3-1 in favor of Cortland. And I was talking, Matt Schultz had an unassisted goal, and then he assisted 2 from Mateo Mara, the other big Cortland goal scorer. So it seems those 2 were the only 2 people who were involved in both goals last season against the Lakers.
And those 2 do find themselves at the top of the point standings anyway, 21 for Mateo Mara in the form of 9 goals and 3 assists. And then for Matt Schultz as well, that scoring power between the 2 of them, 8 for Matt Schultz and only 2 assists for that 18.
17 of their 25 goals come from those 2.
Man, oh man. But thankfully, like you were saying earlier, so far at least, the Lakers have been able to shut down the 2 of them. And we'll keep an eye on them, keep them honest. As we get a free kick there for the Red Dragons. A lot of noise being made over there on the far side.
Yes, that Cortland bench definitely getting into it there.
12:50 still left to go in this first half, but nonetheless, the Red Dragons getting a free kick courtesy of Jack Panada. Look over what he's got in front of him. Give it a kick, but the Lakers able to get their boots on it. Here they come the other way.
Ian Hasselbeck, not afraid to jump up into the action.
Here they come. Oh, a long one. There's 21, Hajun Lee, I believe that was. Unfortunately taking a tumble.
You can see the Cortland bench still just being as loud as they can be. It's the exact opposite with the Oswego Lakers bench. I haven't seen much movement from them at all. They seem to be very static. And even with the cold, they only, other than just a little bit of this jumping, hopping around, they've been very they have not moved much.
One thing that I've always wondered is that, like, when you get those throw-ins from the Lakers, right in front of that Cortland Red Dragons bench, like, what sort of words are exchanged between the players on the bench and that Laker right there? Are there chirps or insults or thrown either way?
Definitely depends on the types of players. If you have a player that is having a throw-in on that bench and they're not afraid to back down, you will definitely have some chirpy comments. Other than that, it tends to be just the bench yelling as loud as they can in your ear and just trying to annoy you.
Either way, sometimes it is that sort of psychological high ball there. Caught by a member of that late Red Dragons bench.
Great reception.
Yeah. He should try out for the D3 football team that Cortland has.
course, they won the national championship last year.
Oh, yeah. Like we were saying off the top, Cortland has been very, very good in terms of D3 athletics with the Lakers. Long kick there, but unfortunately right into the body of Jordan Knott. He'll get a big drop kick there. It'll clear the center line. But
you see the refs start to... Seems like he's not calling as much as he did earlier in the game. He was very adamant early in the game, and as this game has gone on, it seems like he's been a little more lenient on some of those challenges.
10:20 still left to go in this first half. Still no score on either side of things here.
There have been some really good opportunities on both sides, though. I think Cortland had that best one that just barely went over the crossbar, like 20 minutes into that first half. That would have been a big game changer if that had gone in.
Yeah. Although you've seen a couple big, long, and good through balls from this Lakers team as well. So they've had chances on either side of things as well as to Jay Ellis. Running, able to get, or almost get his boot on it there as he gets back towards the center line. The Lakers will run back and try to get their boots on it, but here comes Cortland once again into that center circle and into the Lakers' half of things.
Slightly unlucky, kicking it right into the back of the back of his own attacker.
Lakers still trying to possess it over on the far side, but the Red Dragons able to momentarily steal it. It'll go off of the...
Barely
it'll
nicked
go
the
out
leg
of
of the
bounds off of the
Laker.
Lakers' boot there. But nonetheless, 9:10 now left to go. Under 10 minutes to play.
You can see the rain has returned and the wind has picked back up. It is a light drizzle right now. We'll see if that changes a little bit the way the game is played.
Yeah,
a little more wet conditions.
Yeah, not exactly the clearest skies up above us. Very gray clouds here from the Laker turf. But still, we play on. 8:45 left to go in this first half of things. But again, the Red Dragons able to possess it back at their defensive line. And I believe that's number 4, Ian Hasselbeck in there to keep them honest, keep them moving that ball around, get them tired a little bit more than they maybe already are.
It's a big tackle to keep possession and not let it fall back into the Oswego's possession.
Red Dragons kicking it long back end, and we've seen already as the rain has started to come down a little bit more. Some players slip and slide here and there. We saw one of the Lakers try to put on a header, having to essentially do like a Michael Jackson lean, having to get his head on it.
That one just barely went over the goal line.
Nonetheless, Kyle Rose getting things started for the Lakers. They'll get it up the near side this time, but getting pushed over there. Kyle Genrich, Logan Comfort, the man from Casanova here in Central New York, unfortunately pushing him over there. We'll get a free kick for the Lakers. This one being taken either by Kieran Hasselbeck or Kyle Hanner. The two men right there. It'll be Kyle Hanner giving it a long boot all the way towards the far corner of the...
You can see as this wind has picked back up, it has changed. They both misread that ball as it looked like it sailed a little further than they both expected it to.
Yeah, we were saying that the wind was coming from left to right anyway, and you're seeing that with those high balls that'll go and pick up a little bit more distance than you would have thought.
Yeah, you can see a little bit more movement from that Oswego bench as the rain starts coming down and they get a little colder.
Yeah. One thing that your enemy for once is... Your primary enemy is the other team, but your secondary enemy sometimes has got to be the weather as well, just having to contend with it.
Yes, but you wonder if they want this weather because it makes things so unpredictable. They've had such bad results in the past that I wonder if they want these wet conditions on a different surface than what Cortland's used to, and just trying to find a way to see if they'll make just one simple mistake that'll change this game.
Jordan Ott giving it a long kick, clears the center line with ease, and it'll go a little bit deeper even. The referee blowing his whistle, giving it to the Lakers.
This ref has called a lot through the jumping. He's been very particular with not very much contact within the air and the headers.
Kieran Hasselbeck and Kyle Hanner playing it back and forth there as they get it over to the far side this time. Lakers getting it deeper into that Red Dragons end. But once again, still with it there. Lakers getting it over to the near
Looked like
side.
a handball, but it was not called.
Kyle Genrich getting it back to Hanner. Hanner, though, right with a couple defenders on him. They'll get it back to Kieran Hasselbeck. Hasselbeck, a long ball towards that 30-yard box, but it goes out. Lakers able to keep it within kicking distance. But nonetheless, it'll go back to the Lakers' defensive line, and they'll have to regroup here. Sees a gap, kicks it up. But once again, the Red Dragons getting it back up to their attackers.
Almost a slip there.
Yeah, and we see it a lot more unpredictable, this surface, a lot more slippery. And they'll have to dig in with their boots in the last 5 minutes of this first half here. Still no score from the Lakers' turf. But once again, Lakers with a long ball. You gotta wonder if something like that, if a big opportunity is coming for either of these teams, as it might be for the Red Dragons. They get it deeper into the Lakers' end, into that far corner. It'll go off the end line. And that'll be, I believe that'll be a goal kick for Kyle Rose there. Exactly 4 minutes left to go, left to play in this first half. Rose kicking it off there.
18.
And one thing we've seen with Kyle Rose as well is that he doesn't like to do what Jordan Ott does, where he, drop kicks it or sends it past that center line. Just lets his defense play it.
Yes.
Lakers getting it over on the far side as well.
Running across the middle of the field.
Oh, yeah. Getting it near that midfield line. But able to steal it away momentarily is Kyle Hanner. Does as well.
As the rain starts to get a little heavier.
Here come the Red Dragons, though. Oh, through ball into the box.
Just
the Lakers able to
barely
kick it away,
cleared
though.
by that Oswego defender.
And the rain is absolutely coming down here.
See all the spectators pulling out their umbrellas. They were prepared.
Throw in here for the Red Dragons, a long one. Gets it almost to the middle of the field. The Red Dragons able to send it all the way over to the far side. It'll go off the end line. And Kyle Rose will have himself another goal kick. 2:30 left to go in this first half of play. And still, no score, as we've seen a lot of play in the Lakers' end, though, recently.
After the first 15 minutes, Cortland adjusted really well.
Lakers getting it over to the near side. Looking to get it out. But the Red Dragons able to get it on their own boots and keep it just momentarily in the Lakers' end. Lakers, though, trying to get it out. And using Matthew Sturman over here on the near side. But here comes Cortland. Jordan Miller getting it up there for Yasin Shukri. And here come the Red Dragons. It'll go off the end line, though.
Ball played just slightly too far for the Cortland attacker.
1:35 left to go in this first half. Kyle Rose will get the...
Ooh, you can hear the rain is still continuing to get harder.
Harder and harder. Still. Back to the Lakers' end. It'll go to Kyle Rose again. Kicking it over to the far side, though.
Almost a little too close for comfort there with that Cortland attacker barreling down on the center back.
Still there. 1 minute to play. Red Dragons will throw it in. just looking to possess it for as long as they can in this final minute.
Try see the sun. It's raining while the sun shows.
The sun's starting to somewhat come out, at least on the far side of things. Maybe might be dipping below the clouds at least.
See, Cortland's got to take a corner. There's only 30 seconds left in the half. I think they'd want to hurry just a little more than they are. It's a slow walk to the corner kick.
Well, it also does not take a lot of time as well to take advantage of a corner kick like that as they send it into the 18-yard box. The Lakers are able to get it out, though. Long over that center line.
10 seconds left.
We'll count it down here. Red Dragons kicking it back in. But that'll do it for the first 45 minutes of play here from the Laker turf. The score, after 45 minutes of play, 0 for the Lakers, 0 for the Red Dragons. And boy, oh boy, it was a very back and forth first half, wasn't it, Cole?
It really was. And for a score of 0-0, I actually found myself being very entertained with this game. There's lots of opportunities, like Cortland had a really close one. I think Oswego's had more big opportunities, but Cortland had the one that had the best chance of going in.
Hopefully we'll see a little bit of the same here coming into the second half of play. And the weather, about as unpredictable as it can get here in central New York. But you will want to keep it here. We'll be back in about 15 minutes of play here on WTOP Sports for the second half of Welcome back, sports fans, to WTOP 10 Sports. My name is Rob Finger, alongside Cole Fleming. We're here at the Oswego State Lakers turf for the second half of action between your Oswego State Lakers and the SUNY Cortland Red Dragons. The score after the first 45 minutes of play, 0 for the Lakers, 0 for the Red Dragons. And boy, oh boy, Cole, that first half of action was something to be seen. I swear.
Yes. While it might be 0-0, there was lots of physicality towards the end of the half, and there was lots of opportunities for both sides. In fact, even though shots are 3-3 and actually favors Oswego 2-0 in shots on goal, Cortland really had the biggest opportunity that they missed inside the 18 on
Kyle Rose there, the keeper, of course. But are we looking to see some of that same sort of back and forth action, do you think, here in the second half?
I'm looking to see more. I think both teams will come out with a little more aggressiveness. I'm curious to see how both coaches go into halftime and try and change a few things that they've been doing. Because it looks like they planned for each other's strengths, and then both teams just did the opposite of what they're used to doing, and it looked like it was a little confusing for both teams at times.
So one thing to keep in mind, of course, especially, we're still 0-0, so, and both of these teams are better off, of course, when they score that first goal, but like we said before in the pregame show as well, both of these teams have scored a lot more in the second half than they have the first half as well.
Yes, both teams appear to prefer that second half in terms of really ramping things up and getting that first goal. As we spoke earlier, that first goal is really going to be vital in this game because both teams are really, really good when they score that first goal.
And especially the fact that we've already seen 45 minutes of action here from the turf, and we still have not got a single really quality chance where it's like, oh yeah, they almost scored.
Yeah. The only two shot attempts on goal from the Oswego Lakers were these distant shots that kind of pretty simple saves that didn't turn into really any serious danger chances.
Yeah, I believe one of them was where Jordan Ott, the keeper for the Red Dragons, just had to kind of dive a little bit to the side. It wasn't like, flying, diving save. And then the other one kicked essentially right into his chest, and he's able to save it with relative ease.
Yes, he would. I'm sure he would call them both routine saves, but that's probably just the way he interprets it.
You never know.
As easy as it looks.
We'll be excited to see what this second half of action brings, and if these two teams over the course of halftime, if Dan King, the head coach of the Lakers, and Steve Axtell, the head coach of the Red Dragons, have given their teams or have changed up their team's strategies, Eddie.
It already appears that at least the Oswego Lakers are coming out in a different formation. They were playing a 4-3-3 in that first half. They already look like they're playing almost more of a 5-3-2, so slightly more defensive, which I wonder if they're going to try and get those two outside defenders up forward and try and go into that attack.
They'll kick it off quite long there anyway, as it'll go off the end line, off a big kick from the Red Dragons, and Kyle Rose, not 10 seconds into the half, will have his first goal kick as we get things started for the second half of action here from the Laker turf field. As they get it up that far side near the benches, they'll have to be careful, though, especially for Kyle Genrich there. Unfortunately, taking a tumble himself, going off that sideline. And it'll be looking like number 11, Kyle Hanner, will do the honors of a free kick there.
Yeah, we've seen corners that only 1-1 apiece so far in that first half. That is typically you score 1 in 5 corner kicks. So only having one opportunity on each side, you can see that ball getting caught up by the winds. You can tell in those only each side only having one corner kick leads to less opportunities, and I think Cortland is favored on the corner kicks. I think they tend to do very well in those set piece plays.
Lakers getting up that far sideline by their own bench. But the Red Dragons getting it quickly back towards the Lakers' end. As here they come, trying to put on some offense, get things set up. But the Lakers not to be deterred, not to be defeated easily. Will put all sorts of pressure on.
Cortland looks very defensive there. They had 6 guys stay back in that attack instead of stepping up into play, which it seems like both teams are looking to be just slightly more defensive in the second half, which totally goes against what both teams have done so far in recent games.
Yeah, we saw Muiz Bayou, number 19 there, being essentially as aggressive as he was in the first stages of this first half here, as he goes in real close to Kyle Rose there. But nonetheless, the Red Dragons being a lot more aggressive and a lot more in on the ball to start off this first half here, as we are just over 2 minutes in. The Red Dragons throw it in. They'll get it back to Nolan Week. Week getting it back instead to Alex Lessman.
You can see already Tajay Ellis is already on that center back. You can see that battle is going to be pretty fun throughout the second half.
Oh, yeah, we saw it for a good amount of that first half anyway. Tajay Ellis being that single very high man looking for the longer through balls from his Lakers team as they get it up the far side. Once again, getting it up, and Ellis is on the run, but again,
see, they
Jack
almost
Canada.
have 2 guys, both center backs, are really focused on that center eye striker. I wonder if Oswego will find a way to use that to their advantage at some point in the second half.
Throwing it in are the Lakers deep in that Red Dragons end as they get it up the sideline. Lakers able to keep it in the Red Dragons half momentarily. And that's Ian Hustle back over there on the far side as they get it over instead to Benjamin Brooks. Brooks with it now as the Lakers still able to possess it, winning the possession game so far in this first half, and able to keep it in the Red Dragons end fairly deeply, but still just almost getting trapped over there on the far side.
Yeah.
Oh, and a bit of a contested call there, or lack thereof, from the Lakers bench.
See it getting physical already. We're 4 minutes into the second half, and there's already some pushing and shoving.
Well, I'm sure some high-scoring teams and high-winning teams like these two are not exactly the happiest in the world that they weren't able to put anything on in that first half. So you got to wonder what's going through the minds of the players of these two teams as a header going over to the far side for the Lakers is trying to keep that in there was Kyle Genrich.
I can't tell you what's going through their head, but there's a likely chance that what they really have to do is just stick to the plan. Their coaches set up something because of what they saw out of their opponents.
Oh, so to Jay Ellis there, falling down as he and Jack Panada there were playing a little push and shove up against each other, but nonetheless, it'll result in a free kick for the Lakers. They'll try and fake it out, decide where to go. It'll be long, trying to get a through ball there, but nonetheless, it'll go all the way back to him. And along that far side, they will go. Lakers just trying to keep it within this midfield here, but the Red Dragons able to get their boots on it. They'll try and get it ever closer to that net of Kyle Rose. The Lakers will throw it out of play just to the left of the Red Dragons bench. But nonetheless,
it's an important clearance right there. Just making sure Cortland doesn't capitalize on any silly errors by this Oswego team in the back.
Lakers kicking it off once more. Still remaining over on that far side, in and around the benches.
Until not too many changes have been made. It looks like a similar setup to both halves, at least to start the second half. I wonder if that will change as the minutes go on.
Well, we're about 5 minutes in here. 39-15 still left to go. Long ball there. Kyle Rose, though, on it like a hawk. he will roll it out to his defenders, and they will look to go the other way. As they've got a lot of room there. A long ball to Jay Ellis running for that, but he's not able to get his boots on it before Alex Lessman able to send it off of that far sideline. And once again, the Lakers will throw it in, but considerably further into the Red Dragons' end than they've been so far. So trying to get into that 30-yard box. Series of headers. They get it over to Ellis. Trying to get it past him. Still there. They tried to send it into the 18 box.
That he just couldn't get that ball to the center.
But I believe they'll have a corner kick nonetheless. So they will get another opportunity on top of the one that they just had. So we'll go to the corner. The Lakers will get set up in front of the net of Jordan Hott. Just about 7 minutes into this first half. The kick towards that 18-yard box didn't quite get there. And will we have another? I believe we will. They'll set up for take two of the corner kick.
One thing to note is that there have been 8 Oswego starters that were not subbed off in the first half.
So, yeah, Oswego, I mean, if they can rely on their top guys, on their starters, for as long as they can, if they can do it, do it. They've got a winning record. They've only lost once. So if that is sort of the norm for this Lakers team, why change it? Why change it for something like this?
It's actually the same for Cortland, too. Both teams have 8 players who have not come off this field yet. And we'll see if fatigue starts to become a factor as this half goes on. Which team is more fit? Cortland has played more games, but they played more games last week.
As we will get another try for a corner kick here. Sending it long into the 30-yard box. It'll go past the whole cast and crew here.
See a low-driven ball on the corners.
Ooh, and kicking it out there. Yeah, with a bit of a slide tackle there was Nolan Week. And Hajun Lee, unfortunately, hitting the deck as a result. But nonetheless, Lakers will throw it in. Setting it in. Here's an opportunity. They tried to get it into that 30-yard box. They're able to keep it in. Here they come.
Look at that center back stepping up into the action.
Yeah, Kieran Hustle back there. Showing off that hustle.
You could see his spot get filled instantly by one of the Oswego midfielders.
Yeah, if you're able to read it like that, then of course, just fill in wherever you can as we'll get set.
It's like Kyle Genrich will take this free kick. And they look to be setting something up, so this is likely not a shot on goal.
Well, we'll find out. The captain giving the kick, sending it into traffic, but unfortunately the wrong end of the traffic, able to get their boots on it.
Look at this counterattack. He couldn't quite find number 19 on Cortland's. That would have been dangerous if he had gotten it through.
We'll get another throw-in from that far sideline again. Just about 10 minutes into this second half.
You can see some of the Oswego substitutes starting to warm up right now.
Well, especially for conditions like this, even though the rain has subsided for now at least, it's still about as chilly as it has been all day as the Red Dragons looking to get some offense going once more, but the Lakers able to steal it away. Here they come up the far wing. As has been their strength, a long through ball to Jay Ellis, chasing after it. But able to get his boots on it is Alex Lessman.
Something to note, that the number 22 on Cortland, Stalin Acosta, that got injured in that first half, has still not returned to the game. So that injury was likely something a little more serious, even though he had played through it at first.
You gotta hope for Stalin Acosta over there on the Cortland bench. Hopefully it's nothing too long term. Hopefully it just is something that he's got to deal with today, and then he'll be back in action for their next matchup against Potsdam coming up on this coming Saturday. So a long road trip for this Cortland Red Dragons team, having to go up here to Oswego, and then another 2 hours anyway from here to Potsdam. So I'm sure they'll be going back to Cortland and then having the near 3.5 hour trip up to Potsdam.
Yeah, of course, Oswego's next game, Saturday, October 12th, is at home as well against SUNY Fredonia.
So hopefully they'll be going back, or at least for their sake, with victory. But I'm sure
by Cortland to win a corner there.
I'm sure the Red Dragons as well would like to stay winning on this road trip as well. As they get a corner kick here, they'll get quite the opportunity. This only being, I believe, their second corner kick of the game. Is that right?
I believe that is correct, yes.
We'll see if they can make better use of their corner kicks than Oswego did the last couple. They'll send it into the 18-yard box, headed up, and it's in!
Cortland scores the first goal of the game on an awkward-looking header, wasn't it?
And that's Sam Lamondola celebrating over there with the entirety of the Red Dragons bench.
The Oswego players seem to be complaining about something on the goal. I'm not too sure about what. But the ball, it looked really weird.
Yeah.
It kind of bounced right up, and it looked like it was going out of play. Then all of a sudden, it was in the back of the net.
I will say as well, it looked to me like it might be just squirting by that far right post of the net, but just able to find Twine for the Red Dragons. They will go up 1-0.
We talked about Cortland has yet to face defeat when scoring first. So that's a huge goal for them. We talked about that hustle by that forward to force the corner, and it worked out very well for Cortland.
And still, the Red Dragons bench being as vocal as they can. You can feel the hype from here over on the Red Dragons bench. But nonetheless, Red Dragons will start off with it. Kicking it in on Kyle Rose.
The flag is raised for offsides there.
Oh boy, you don't want to see that, especially if you're the Red Dragons on a wonderful opportunity like that. Well, would have been more disheartening for them on something like that if the goal did find Twine again, but it's called back because of offsides. But nonetheless, still, they remain with the lead, 1-0. The first goal of this game coming at about almost close to the 60th minute of things. Waited a long time for the first goal.
Man, that is an important goal for this game. We'll see. We'll see how Oswego responds. They're going to need to come forward a lot more, and I'm assuming you'll see Cortland drop back further and try and just take the pressure.
Sending it in, Cortland able to get it out with a series of headers, but the Lakers able to keep it in and around that 30-yard box. They got to be careful, because they still possess it. They're trying to get it over to the near side here, and the Red Dragons long hide out, but here they've got an opportunity. Bad mistake there from Kieran Husselbeck, but thankfully Benjamin Brooks is able to make it up for him. The Red Dragons, though, able to steal it away. Here they come. In on goal, but didn't quite get to the box before the Lakers were able to steal it away once more. Sending it in. Cortland possessing it courtesy of Alex Lessman. A long ball from him will pass by Hajun Lee.
And it deflects off Cortland. Should be an Oswego throw-in.
That will be as it goes off the sideline. Less than 30 minutes left, entering the final third of action here from the Laker turf. The Lakers have a little bit of a hill to climb here. Absolutely not insurmountable, but they're going to have to put on a lot more offense than they have so far.
Yes, and you can see them starting to attack more, and you almost saw that in their only 2 defenders on the 2 forwards, and it almost turned into a huge opportunity for Cortland.
Lakers throwing it in once more anyway, as we'll get a substitution here. Ethan Caruana going out, and coming in to replace him, that'll be, I believe, number 18, Eric Maldonado. Or number 10, I should say, Chris Smith.
Chris Smith has 4 goals on the season. He's actually their leading goal scorer so far.
So hopefully he'll be able to show a little bit of that scoring prowess in this game, because the Lakers know that they need it, as Kyle Rose far back in his net. Thankfully he's able to put his hands on that ball and keep it only to 1 goal so far for the Red Dragons, as we see Moise Bayou again being aggressive for these Red Dragons. It's the
See
Lakers.
again, another one aerial battle that is called as a foul.
Boy, oh boy. They'll send it over to the referee. Thankfully, it'll be the Lakers. Or, thankfully, for the Lakers' sake, it'll be them who get the free kick. They'll put it deep into the Red Dragons' end here. They'll try to enter that 30-yard box as they keep it within range anyway through a series of headers. They'll come back in and look to keep it in this Red Dragons' end, sending it into that 30-yard box, but it's number 23, Sam Lamandola, our lone goal scorer here today, who sends it all the way into the Lakers' end. The Red Dragons with an opportunity here. Bayou gets it over towards Schultz. 2 of their big players there, thankfully.
Touch just slightly too far. They had a guy coming in on that right side that was just barely not able to get the ball given to.
The long ball there just passes that right post.
See,
boy, oh boy.
Cortland, after that goal, looks way more alive.
Way more confident. You've got to imagine that a goal like that has seriously put some wind in their sails.
Yes, they look like they've returned from that with lots of energy and lots of momentum, and they're really using that. See if they can tag a second one on here.
The Lakers, though, you got to wonder if a goal like that has put a little bit of a fire under their rear ends as well. Just noticing that, hey, we got to get a lot more offense on than we've been getting. You've seen as well the Lakers have had a lot more possession in the Red Dragons' end after that goal, and they will hope to turn it into some offense here as they come close there to the 30-yard box. Thankfully, they're able to keep it in their own end.
You see Oswego defenders stepping in now. They just need something.
Able to keep it in, though. The kick just over the crossbar. And what a quality opportunity there. And I believe that was to Jay Ellis who let that one fly.
See the center back getting into play, really creating that opportunity.
It's something you don't quite expect if you're the Red Dragons, but if it's effective, do it all you'd like, but just know that you're going to be, well, sacrificing a D-man for something like that. Long kick here for Jordan Ott, as we'll get a big conglomeration of all the players on the field right here in the midfield. They'll spread out a little bit more as the Red Dragons kicking one in to Bayou. Right on in. They score again.
He's been deadly all day.
Moise Bayou making it 2-0 Red Dragons, and they have come alive halfway through this second half.
See, it was just a little bit of confusion between that goalkeeper and that center back, and all he needed was just a little toe poke. Knocked it in.
24-30. Still left to go in this second half. And once again, The Red Dragons on cloud 9 over there on that bench.
So we talked about having how that important that first goal was, and Cortland got it, and they've turned it into 2. They just look so much more confident and so much more energetic out there, and it's got to be the Oswego. It's such a big blow when something like that happens. You battling for 60 minutes, and then it seemed like it was such a weird first goal that it turned into, and it's a little bit disheartening. And then they score another one, and now you have to find a way to will yourselves back into it, and it's always difficult.
Long ball here going all the way down to Kyle Rose. He will pick it up with his hands, but outside of the 30-yard box.
All you need is 1 foot in a box, and it looked like he had it.
And you saw that the Cortland Red Dragons bench was complaining a bit about that, but the Lakers coming into the 30-yard box of the Red Dragons here, dangerous territory. The Red Dragons.
See the Oswego player looking for the call right there.
But unfortunately, he will not get it as the Lakers just able to keep it in, courtesy of Ha-Jun Lee.
See if they switch the field here.
You never can tell. Jason Wytak setting it up for Ian Hustleback. And Scott Schuyler will be credited with the assist on Bayou's goal. But the Lakers still win it in the Red Dragons' end. You can win the possession game all you want, but if you don't get those scoring opportunities...
That was a very close turn. If he had gotten through, he would have had a one-on-one with the keeper. Great defending by Cortland to make sure that didn't happen.
And it's sort of been the theme all game, because we've seen some quality chances, but that first one, that goal right in front of the box that just went over the crossbar, was really the first big shot opportunity that the Lakers have had today. So you got to give credit to the Red Dragons defense today.
And you have to think how big of a game changer that was. That would have been the difference between 2-0 and 1-1. Just barely not being able to put that one in the back of the net. And now Cortland just looks like they're feeling so comfortable with where they're at.
I mean, you've got a 2-goal lead with only 20 minutes left. Still a lot of time for Oswego to put on some offense, but...
Saw Cortland scored 2 in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Big opportunity here.
What we saw, 5 minutes can change the tone of the game. But nonetheless, the ball will go across that box.
I don't know how that slipped through everyone. I think that went between 6 bodies.
On both the Lakers side and the Red Dragons side, as the Lakers looking to come out once more. But here they come the other way.
Big run on the left side. Did not receive a pass.
As it'll go out of bounds, and number 2, Kyle Genrich there, just not happy with the pass that he was given there. And it'll be the Red Dragons throwing it in here with 21-12. Still left to go in this second half. 2-0. The score. Still here. As the referees having to walk over to the Red Dragons here.
Looks like there's a little confusion on what's happening.
Nonetheless, we will play on.
It's stopped the clock to 21:04 left.
The referee's having a conversation with some of the people on the Red Dragons bench here, as the wind is starting to pick up a little more.
That seems like right on the end. Some of those guys who've been loud all game. Looks like the ref is talking to them about something.
Well, maybe to be a little bit quieter with their cheering. Maybe something like that, but
could have been something they said too.
You never can tell. You'd always like to be a fly on the wall in a conversation like that as the flag gets knocked over by the ball. It just
will go through the right side, though, for the goal kick.
The ball just tackling over the flag there, but nonetheless, we'll have a goal kick from Kyle Rose instead of a throw-in. And they will send it all the way up for Jason Wytak. Wytak, though, getting his boot on it, it'll go outside. And the Red Dragons will get another throw-in. The Lakers, though, able to get a little bit more set up than they were, get a little bit deeper into the zone. Cortland will send it up. Looking to get it out of bounds there. It'll go long off the end line. And that'll be a corner kick for the Red Dragons. They were able to take advantage of it the second time they did it.
With just under 20 minutes, we're really going to need, if Oswego is to make a comeback in a game like this, they're really going to need to find a way to get the ball up the field and keep possession and just really get opportunities. If you're Cortland, though, this is perfect for you. You almost want the chaos because it means there's nothing established. You almost are in control throughout the chaos.
Sending it in, the Lakers are able to get it long and out of harm's way as it goes all the way almost to that far sideline over near in between the benches, but the Red Dragons able to send it back in with ease. Lakers trying to get it out, though. Still, Red Dragons able to take possession. Here's a through ball, but it's off the foot of Hajun Lee.
Go out for a corner.
We'll have another corner kick. 18:48 left to go in this second half, so under 20 minutes to go here in the final 20.
Notice corners were 1-1 at halftime. It's now 4-3 Oswego in corners.
But still, the Red Dragons have been able to take advantage of it as it goes right off, I believe, the glove of Kyle Rose.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying for an Olympico there. Didn't touch anyone and made the keeper make a big save to keep this a 2-0 game.
Cade Denlinger will go over to the near corner to do the honors of the corner kick. Denlinger the kick into the center. It'll go past everyone and off the end line. And that'll be a goal kick for Kyle Rose. Rose will start things off, hitting it over to his D. They'll get it long up for Jason Wytak here, but unfortunately, for him at least, the Red Dragons able to steal it away momentarily. The Lakers will send it out of bounds. But Nolan Week will throw it in for the Red Dragons. Sending it over the other way. Off the sideline it'll go. Cortland sending it back in. Week again. Getting it over to Scott Schuyler. Lakers just trying to get it out as far as they can. And that'll go out of bounds. And Week again will throw it in. Throwing it in along this near side. And it will go off the end line. And Kieran Hustleback essentially following that all the way in. But Kyle Rose will get a goal kick here. He'll hand it off the D once more. The Lakers will look to get it out of their own end here. Do you hear that, center line? We'll have a free kick for the Lakers, it looks like, with 16:30 left.
Something to note, that first goal scorer for Cortland's number 23, Sam Lamondola, that is his first career goal as a Cortland's Red Dragon. Such a crucial one, too.
The sophomore from Buffalo, out by your neck of the woods.
Same weather there as it is here.
Oh, yeah. 16 minutes still left to go in this second half. A lot of time for Oswego, at least, to see if they can get some offense going and see if they can bring it within one or even tie the game if they so are able to. But the Red Dragons will not make it easy as they have controlled most of this game.
Likewise, it is very much like you're down to this last third of the game. You're down to this last 15 minutes or third of the half. If you're Cortland, I wonder if you'll start seeing them make some more defensive substitutions. Even though it looks like their attack is fine right now. I wonder if they keep with how they're going and just keep trying to keep Oswego from getting any sort of possession and momentum and build up to see if they can tag their own goal.
Long all the way for Kyle Rose there. That free kick coming from almost the center line. But thankfully for the Lakers, they're able to get their boots on it and get it back towards that center line. Referees will rule it out of bounds. Lakers will throw it in. Along that far side line. Less than 15 minutes to go in this second half. We'll have the substitution here. Red Dragons throwing it in. Looking to get some offense going once more. But the Lakers able to get their boots on it. Here they come the other way.
You can see that freshman right back, Ryan Boulis.
Ian Hasselbeck showing the hustle in his name. It'll go off him and up into the stands here. And the Red Dragons will have a throw-in courtesy of Nolan Week again.
See a physical battle
the
between
chest of Jordan Regis there. And the wind, I'm not sure if you can hear it, but it is picking up, whipping wickedly here from the shores of Lake Ontario. But still, Cortland with control of this game so far, with most of the control, at least in the second half here, Cole.
You can see them. They are finding the gaps and finding passes way easier than they were in the first half. I wonder if that's a case of some of the Oswego players starting to get tired and getting worn out. Or if that was a change made after that halftime by their coach, Steve Axtell.
You never can tell because big
my
ball!
Goodness, what a
Yassine
hit!
Shukri.
Now that was I can't even fathom words.
Wow.
That was a rip.
A beauty of a kick from Yassine Shukri.
There he is, fourth goal of the season. One of those top guys who've been a big part in their goal scoring.
And he will get double digits for points, putting him up to 11 on the season with his fourth goal and, of course, 3 assists that he came in to this game with. 3-0 is the score.
You can just see the life gone from the Oswego team. The shoulders are starting to sag, and they're starting to feel a little hopeless in this game. You can tell.
I was about to ask if essentially it just has been put out of reach for the Lakers anyway.
At this stage in the game, you can't. Oh, little bit of a reckless challenge there. Fouled by Oswego. You can never count them out with 13 minutes left, but 3 goals is a long ways to go. And each second you tick off the clock is just more and more chance that Cortland's going to be able to take this one home.
And the referee talking to Chris Smith and Sam Lamandola right there. Maybe settling something between them, but they will shake hands and keep going nonetheless. 12:33 still on the clock in this second half. Red Dragons with the kick. High, long, all the way in. There's a through ball.
It's good work by Oswego's defense. It's a nifty little pass.
Here come the Lakers the other way. Into that center circle they'll go.
Looking for
Over here for
Ryan
number 19,
Bullis.
Ryan Bullis.
At 31-49.
Trying to
It's a
get those
nice
passes
pass
through.
inside.
Less than 12 minutes left to go in this second half. Lakers still just trying to get their first mark on the board so that they aren't shut out in a game like this.
And they're giving a penalty.
Will that be a penalty kick?
We're getting
Oh
a
my
penalty
goodness.
kick. This is...
Well,
while it's still a long ways to go, Cortland could just be gifting Oswego a goal back into this.
You never can tell. I mean, goals are able to be 3 goals are able to be scored in under 10 minutes, but it's very much a rarity in this game. But we'll get a penalty kick for number 10, Chris Smith. We'll see what he can do 1-on-1 against Jordan Ott in net. Here we go. He scores.
Puts it away.
3-1. Now the score. Chris Smith getting his 5th goal on the season, but
That puts Cortland at 5 for or that puts Oswego at converting 5 of 6 penalties on the year. And Cortland is now let up 3 goals on 4 penalty kicks for them.
But you honestly do have to wonder, though, unfortunately. Is it a case of too little too late?
It's hard to say right now, but once you get into that 5-minute mark, it looks more and more like it is going to be too little too late. They really need a goal, and they need a goal quick.
Oh, as it went off, I believe one of the people on the Red Dragons bench there. It'll go off the sideline again for another throw-in.
That was the last thing you want if you're the Cortland Red Dragons. You've been playing a really good game and you give up a penalty kick like that, but still, you just have to stay disciplined right here. Discipline is the key with 11 minutes left, up 2 goals. Just be smart with how you're playing because it really is too far to go if a team is not going to make any mental errors.
And especially with a game like this where it's a full 90-minute game. Exhaustion is very much a factor, but thankfully for the Red Dragons anyway, they've got a 2-goal lead, a 2-goal cushion that they can still work with.
Yeah, even after the penalty kick. That's why scoring 3 goals and making it 3-0 was so pivotal.
Lakers will get a free kick here as we approach the 10-minute mark. For 10 minutes left in our regulation time here.
Looks like he's getting a card here.
Oh, and we'll have a yellow card. Our first card of the game. Very late into the game anyway.
Very late.
In what has been a very physical game either way as well. We've seen pushing and shoving on either side.
Yeah, that's Yassine Shukru, who actually scored that 3rd goal to really put this one at pretty much out of reach for this Oswego team.
You never can tell. There's still 10 minutes to play. You've only got a 2-goal deficit. You can't let up defensively if you're the Lakers. But as well, you've got to pour everything into offense that you possibly can. Get those defenders in on the offense as they have stacked them as far as they can. And we'll get a free kick for the captain, Kyle Genrich. Long ball into the box. Still trying to work with it are the Lakers. The Red Dragons, though, will get it.
Handball. Ball goes to the Cortland Red Dragons.
We're just under 10 minutes now. Counting down the final 10. Here from the Laker turf. 3-1. Still our score.
Remember, this was a 0-0 score at halftime. So we've seen, as we thought, a breakout of goals in this second half as both teams really are looking to tag on a few.
And it's more so come in the last 30 minutes anyway. We started off that fourth quarter, the first 10 minutes anyway, still scoreless.
Yeah,
but then it's just absolutely flowed out. The amount of goals that both of these teams were able to put on, especially for the Cortland Red Dragons. But nonetheless, Kieran Hasselbeck.
That first and second back-to-back, right around that 15-20 minute mark.
Lakers looking to get it into the box, but still the headers from the Red Dragons. Lakers just trying to sacrifice whatever they can to keep it in the Red Dragons' end.
Got plenty of time and space there for the Cortland's midfielder.
As here is Matt Schultz again, trying to put on some offense, but the Lakers able to get it in through for Jay Ellis.
Winning
He's
the physical
got some
battle
space. Getting it in, but right into the
Right
gloves
to
of
the
Jordan
keeper.
Ott.
Jordan Ott has played a very efficient game today. Only letting up the penalty kick. He's been very sound in net, saving everything that's come his way and handling any crosses that have gone too close to his goal.
Off the sideline, that'll go, but that's deep in the Lakers' end. So they'll have a throw in. Ian Hasselbeck will be the one responsible. So we have less than 8 minutes now to play in this second half and in this regulation time. As I believe the wind might have pushed that one astray, and it'll stay out of bounds.
Here's that way. Cortland will make a substitution here.
And I believe that maybe, yes, that'll be number 19, Muiz Bayou, coming back onto the pitch. The Dragons will throw it in. Bayou will be the first one to get it. Just looking to get some offense going, and I believe that was Jordan Miller over there, number 14. Unfortunately, stumbling over the ball a little bit. He had some room right in front of him, but just stumbling over it a little bit too much. But
Did manage to win a corner kick. Just wasting as much time as you can. You can see them. Just kind of in this corner, just trying to take as much time off.
Lakers, though, looking to win some opportunities, but Bayou will look to chase that off the sideline. And that'll be Hasselbeck, it looks like, over on the far side, throwing it in for the Lakers. Ian Hasselbeck getting it a little bit more in bounds, though, off ahead. It'll go out. The Red Dragons, once again for the second time in what seems like a minute or two, we'll have a back-to-back Lakers and then Red Dragons throw-in. Red Dragons will throw it in right, though, to the Lakers. It'll go off the sideline again, and still just a lot of play over near that far sideline. The Lakers try to get it out of their zone as much as they can, or as quickly as they can even. Red Dragons keeping it in, courtesy of Sam Lemondola.
Coming into this game, each team was 1-1-1 in the conference. Both teams having their only loss of the conference, coming to that number 21, Oneonta.
The other Red Dragons team, which we did some research actually just before we went live here, because the Oneonta Red Dragons got their name after the Cortland Red Dragons. We did some research. I believe it was 1933 that the Cortland Red Dragons got their name, and then it was Oneonta doing the same, getting that same Red Dragons name back in the mid-40s. So,
Yes, referee here says the ball was still moving before the free kick was played, and as a result, he's bringing it back and he's making them re-kick it.
less than 6 minutes to go, almost to that 5-minute mark. Lakers kick it off. Long into the box.
Good clearance by the Cortland right back.
Lakers will throw it in. Getting it right into that 30-yard box. The referees,
kick
though,
to the head.
they're trying to see exactly who it was. We'll have
Gives
a yellow
him
card.
Yellow card. Now we got 2 Cortland yellow cards after nothing through the first 80 minutes.
That was, I think, number 19, Ryan Bullish, the freshman, getting that kick in the head. And it'll be, looks like Kyle Genrich, number 2, to take the free kick here.
Yeah, that number 19 on Oswego has looked quite dynamic today. He's drawn a few fouls and he's made some good plays. It's actually the same thing with the number 19 on Cortland, who is also scoring a goal and has looked very threatening up at that forward position.
4:58 left. Free kick coming. Here we go. Sending it in.
Slides it through.
In chaos. Still in the box. Lakers is trying to get possession of it, get control. Into the box it'll go. They're trying to keep it in. And they do. Still in bounds.
It's a scramble
Lakers
here.
just, scrambling with it, trying to bring it to the goal, but it goes off the end line.
That is not what you want if you are Cortland. That is too close to comfort, being able to put this within 1. You want to keep this 2-goal lead here.
The Lakers with a corner kick. It'll go. Oh, not quite out of the box yet, but off a header from Sam Lamondola. We'll get it out to Jay Ellis Foley.
They've got numbers. See if they break or if they just set back.
Oh, I think they'll break. That's Bayou. Long ball up for him, having a run for it. Does not go off the side or end line. Bayou.
Great work to keep that in play.
The Red Dragons possessing it as they can. The Lakers, though, getting that long and out. 3:47 still to go. The Lakers, though, would desperately like to get as much or waste as little time as they can. They'll kick it over to Kyle Rose. Rose will get things started about as quick as he can. Lakers trying to get it up that far side. Just running out of time.
See the Cortland bench liking that.
Cortland walking over to where they're going to be throwing it in. They don't need to worry about time.
3 minutes. That is too much to overcome. Especially with the possession down at this end. It's any last gasp of desperation for Oswego is needed in these next 30 seconds. If they cannot, it's going to be too little, too late.
The Red Dragons, though, controlling the pace of play. Looking to just keep it in their boots for the next 2:45.
It's great work by Cortland to keep this ball down here. To keep it within their possession.
They can sacrifice as much time as they want in getting it out of bounds like that. 2:30 now to go. Cortland kicking it high and deeper into the Lakers' end.
Going to see here, every time Cortland gets a touch on the ball, they're sending that as far down to the Oswego side as they can.
And the Lakers just falling over here.
We might see a
bit of pushing and shoving here. Fight's almost breaking out on the field here.
See the linesman getting involved too.
And that was Bayou at the center of that, having to get pulled out by his teammate.
Looked like potentially 2 yellow cards for Oswego.
And you gotta think, if you're the Lakers, you've got to almost be enraged by this game.
Benjamin Brooks got a yellow for sure.
And as well, Moise Bayou having to get pulled out by his teammate, like I mentioned. 2:05 left to go. The Lakers sending it in, having to Hail Mary it as much as they can.
Of course, Oswego is not thrilled with this result.
Oh, coming around off the line. I believe
just barely out. It will go for a goal kick for Cortland with just a minute 45 left. They're going to take, I'd have to guess, 20 seconds off before they kick this.
Kyle Rose taking all the time he needs. He'll just stroll back, wait for his team to get set up.
We wait for this.
Yeah, that was about. That was a good estimate. I will say it was about 20 seconds before when the whistle was blown, and then before it was headed up by one of the midfielders, Kyle Rose, risking it all, getting it up along that far side. The Lakers looking for any gasp of offense that they can muster. 1 minute remains.
As you've seen, this has actually been a very impressive second half by Cortland. They looked very strong. They looked fast. They looked much faster than they were. They looked way better breaking down a lot of this Oswego defensive line.
Well, they've certainly shown why they are ranked 25th in Division 3. 30 seconds remain on the clock, but still a 2-goal gap for the Lakers, as it'll be kicked out of bounds. 20 seconds.
So we saw Cortland had 7 shots on goal in that half. They went from 3 shots total and having 0 on goal to 11 shots and 7 on goal. Oswego only added 2 shots with only 1 of those 2 on goal. Very dominant second half by Cortland there.
And it's that utter domination that will result in the final score. 3 for the Cortland Red Dragons. 1 for the Oswego State Lakers. Boy, oh boy. I think that second half defined what this game was.
Yes. I thought Oswego came out flying in those first 15 minutes. They really looked good. And then Cortland kind of settled themselves down. Of course, you had the 1-hour weather delay. They had the hour and a half. You had the weird conditions. They really settled in quite nicely to finish off that first half and came out in that second half really looking to take advantage, and they did.
And it was those extra elements that we talked about that the Lakers had to their advantage, and they'll go down for 56-6-3 it was?
Yes.
Now
or 5.
for 56-6-5 in terms of their all-time head-to-head. The Cortland Red Dragons will take another dub against the Oswego State Lakers. They will go up 8-3-3 for their total this season.
2-1-1 in the conference.
And the Oswego State Lakers going down for only their second loss this season. Unfortunately, both of them being 2 separate Red Dragons teams.
Of course, number 23 on Cortland getting his first career goal, Sam Lemondola, and then that third goal by Cortland to really secure it. That rifle by Yusin Shukru.
Absolutely.
That was just a very good second half.
And the Red Dragons thanking those who made the hour-and-a-half drive from the southern tier up to the shores of Lake Ontario. Final score once more, 3 for the Red Dragons, 1 for the Lakers. What do we want to say? Thank you, everybody, for joining us here on WTOP 10. My name is Rob Finger, alongside Cole Fleming. We'll see you next time on WTOP 10 Sports.